What's going on? Welcome to another coffee break with your host, Sam Esquivel. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's been a while, but when is it? 1 minute, 1 hour. It just depends on the perspective. But here we are once again. Hopefully you're doing well. Keep your head up. Challenges come. Tests will happen. You fail some, you lose some, but you still got to wake up and keep going. There has been some challenges that have shown up in my life here lately, and I have had to dig in deep to find motivation and strength to keep going. I could tell you that, hearing positive affirmations are great. It works. I could tell you that working out and, doing all of that works. Yeah, it does. But when the momentum is going, it's easy to apply those things. But in the moment, whenever you're going through it, you're going to lean on a few certain things that really work. And that might be prayer, that might be family and friends, that might be a refocus and an outlook that you have. It's things that we don't typically hear, but in the moment, in the dirt, you need hiking boots, right? In the ice, you need ice boots. And so when you're in it, it's always more specific. Nothing against all the positivity and all of the motivation that's out there that even I put out there. No hate or shade on that, but I'm just telling you that if you're going through something, that there is a specific thing that you need that you're going to have to find that's going to help you pull through what you're going through. But thank y'all so much for joining me for the previous coffee breaks. I am drinking, I think, a Guatemalan medium roast, and it's really tasty. I hope you're enjoying your coffee break right now. And I'm going to hit you with something that spoke to me. And here we go. 7 things you need to understand about life, about vida. Number 1 is this. If you continue to wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. Have you ever found yourself doing that, or someone saying, no, I'm not ready yet? No, it's not the perfect time. I'm not ready. I'm going to wait. I need this to line up, that to line up. And we put these artificial markers that in order for those markers to hit, so many million other things from day in and day out have to happen accordingly so that we end up in that marker. So by identifying, when I am ready, we're in essence saying we're leaving it up to randomness, because that readiness is a move. It's just a kite in the wind. And you might end up waiting the rest of your life. What is something that you keep saying, when I'm ready? And I get it, some finances. I get that things have to be in order, permission and time and sacrifice. Those things have to be in the right place in order for you to do certain things. But I'm not talking about doing it in completion. Everything takes steps. Everything is a progression. But how many times have you said, when I'm ready? And I'm just here to tell you, I'm here to tell myself, that might be a lifetime. And by the time I look back, when I'm in my 80s or 90s, I'm going to say I was never ready. And now, where I'm at, I'm definitely not ready. So it's crazy because I'll never be ready. And what's the difference if I'm ready? Well, they're going to meet up one day and boom, the opportunity of just doing it has passed. Number 2, life is not tiring. Wanting life to be a certain way, but not having the confidence to make that way is tiring. Yeah, 24 hours a day. We've heard this a million times. We've heard so many people say this. You have the same 24. I have the same 24. But how much effort are you putting into obligations? How much effort are you putting into passion? Either one, if you're wasting your time, it's going to feel like it's wearing you out. You're going to feel tired of pursuing one whenever there's not balance for the other, whenever it's just obligation and not passion, or it's passion and then you're not meeting your obligation. You could begin to feel tired. But whenever you're pushing and striving and aiming for something that you want, that tiredness may exist, right? It's going to be present, but how can I say, the value of that type of tired or tiring is very different. That you say it is worth it, because it is in chasing something and knowing you're doing something, not only for obligation, but for passion. And so there you go. Number 3, what happened yesterday may not be your responsibility, but how you behave today is. What did happen yesterday? Huh? Did you not get paid? Did a contract go bad? Did you miss a bill? Did you have a fight with your wife? Did you have a fight with your boss? Did you wreck your car? Did you make a mistake yesterday? Yes, that there's certain consequences from that yesterday that are going to take place today. But let's just say the consequences are just one thing out of your whole day that it's going to impact. What are you going to do about the others? Are you going to let that trickle down and keep you from reading, writing, researching, making calls, making deals, doing what you need to do, because yesterday's trying to stop you today? And sometimes it does. Don't get me wrong. I'm also not trying to be disillusional, but a lot of it is your choice, right? Dwell in and do what you got to do, pay what you have to pay, do what you have to do to make what happened yesterday, if it was a mistake, right? But then you also still have to continue down your list and say, man, I can't accomplish the 15 things today because of what happened yesterday, but I can accomplish 10 of them. And then I'm only 5 behind. I don't know, but it doesn't have to be yesterday sucked, so all 15 things today are out. I'm going to just, sit under my gray cloud and just let the rain fall on me, and that's it. It's over. No, I think that we need to figure out, what can I do? What can I continue to do? And yesterday is not going to affect me accomplishing something today. That's the key word, and that is something today, because everyone's like, no, it's all in or nothing. No, sometimes it's just a piece, a little bit, something. And that's enough to help us get through these very difficult times. Here we go. Number 4, that lesson will repeat itself until you learn it. So certain mistakes happen in our lives, and it could be scheduling, it could be financial, it could be with friends, it could be relation, you name it, so many things. And we're wondering, why does this headache keep popping up? It's because you have not learned the lesson. And then once you learn the lesson, once you get what the wisdom that's supposed to come out of those rough and tough situations, then you won't stumble across it no more. Then you'll be ready for the next one. But what do you do with that wisdom? What do you do with that thing that you learned? You pass it on to someone that you care about so that they can progress in things a little bit faster, a little bit smoother. I mean, if that's in your character, right? If you're just trying to help people, then that's what you do. But there's lessons that will repeat themselves until you learn. And that has to do with having a hard head. Do you have a hard head? Are you stubborn? Have people said you're stubborn and have a hard head, but you have not come to the terms that you are? Then maybe it's time to listen to others, and maybe there's so many lessons that you have overlooked that have just passed you by, and the mistakes keep happening over and over again. But that's up to you, but it happens to the best of us. Number 5, let me get a drink of. If you learn to read books, you can be smart. If you learn to read yourself, you can be anything. Boom. Intelligence and action. So when you read books, you gain intelligence, insight, different perspectives. You even learn a little bit of maybe some writing skills, some vocabulary skills when, because you get to see how people speak, right? And how, whenever you take on different types of books and stuff. different perspective. That's all great. Good for conversation, good for coffee table talk, a lot of that stuff. But whenever you learn to read yourself, when you, in other words, understand who you are, that is when the magic happens. In other words, we can read a lot and learn a lot, but till you know, this is how I take action. This is the stuff I can do. This is the stuff I do need help in. This is how I am when I'm overloaded. This is how I am when I'm have peace. This is how I am when things are going good. That is reading and knowing yourself. And those things, that when you know yourself, the action will follow. Now, it's not like, oh man, I do anything and be everything. It's not that either. Knowing yourself is knowing what you are and knowing what you're not. And so I encourage you to read, to gain all that stuff, but I also encourage you to examine, in essence, read yourself so that you know how you work and what works best for you. Number 6, change behavior is the only real apology. I am sorry I did this. I'm sorry I did that. Yeah, well, we all know we've gotten really tired of hearing that from people who just keep hurting us, keep doing us wrong, lying, deceiving us, you name it. I'm sorry is fine. But man, that is just the tip of the iceberg. After that, the apology is really, really honest and truthful whenever behaviors change. That is the true way to show that you are sorry. And so whenever we say sorry to others, change, be better. But here we go. Whenever you're sorry and say sorry to myself because I let myself down, I didn't follow through, I down talked myself, I'm negative about myself, whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is that you need to apologize to yourself about, do that. But then change your behavior in the same circumstances. Don't let the same thing keep producing itself. Do better. Apologize, but change. And then that is the real sign of you meaning that apology. You have to stop prioritizing being loved by others over the love you have for yourself. And so we look for approval from outside so much. That's what we seek. That's what we want. And again, I am on YouTube, on social media, and all the platforms looking for a type of approval. Don't get me wrong. But before it even goes out there, I'm sharing the stuff because I love myself. You need to love yourself. It's so important. Then in that case, that means that what you do before anyone says thumbs down, thumbs up, you know it's from the heart. You know that it's real. And if that's good enough for you, may all the success follow because you knew it started from you loving yourself. And I hope that, all the other things I shared today kind of lead us into loving ourselves the right way. And loving ourselves, it's so important. And we're always looking for others to love us. And we say, oh, 1 million people love me. So that I love myself because they can't be wrong. How about I love myself? And whether I'm influencing 5 or 1 million people, the love I have for myself does not change, right? I don't, because you don't want it going up and down and blah, blah, blah. Know yourself, love yourself, and move in that love. Be honest and authentic, because that's like the key word for 2024, authenticity. Be real, but you can't do that if you don't love yourself, and you got to know yourself to be able to do that. Anyways, I hope that today's coffee break helped you. I hope it motivated you. Don't forget, follow us on Instagram at TheFailed Podcast. I'll leave the links below. Thank you so much for watching right here on our YouTube channel under the TheFailed Podcast arm. And we're doing a lot of other creative things, but don't forget, please subscribe, share, leave a comment. Just support us by simply clicking a button. And thank y'all so much. And y'all have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your coffee, and we'll see you on the next one.